Hello, my name is Kevin Rajpaksa and I am one of the team members for the 4-cycle steam engine.
My name is Hyunwoo Chang and also one of member of 4-cycle steam engine. For this video, we will talk about which assembly we made and its parts, sub-assemblies, and make conclusion. Our team made 4-cycle steam engine. The left picture is assembled view of 4-cycle, and right picture is exploded view of 4-cycle steam engine.
As you can see over here, I have given the drawings of the steam engine, which include the side view, front view, and top view. And I have made this presentation into 3 parts. The first part being the one that shows all the parts, and then going on to the sub-assemblies, and then the final assembly in the end.
For 4-cycle steam engine assembly, we divided into 3 big sections. One is assembly 101 and 102. Second one is assembly 103, 104, and 105. And last thing is assembly 200.
So I will start with introducing the parts for the sub-assembly in assembly 103. So I have made a cylinder, which I used a circle, which I padded out, and then I used the hole function to cut out the hole all the way through. And for the cylinder top, I made another circle with a pad, and then I added another pad within that circle, and then I created 2 holes on the sides. And for the horizontal beam, I made the front view as the base sketch, and then I padded it outside, and I used the pocket function and the hole function to create it all. And for the cylinder fastener, I just used the arc and padded it out using the profile sketch, and then I used the hole function to pocket the 2 holes. And over here you can see the sub-assembly. And for assembly 104, I did the cylinder and cylinder top as I've mentioned before. And for the vertical beam, I used the same procedure I used in the horizontal beam, which is taking the front view and using that as a base sketch. Also, I have used the same procedure for the cylinder fastener 2 as the one I've used in cylinder fastener 1. And this is the assembly for 104. Now for the overall assembly, assembly 200, I made the reversing valve knob, which includes padding and the hole function. For the base plate, I used a chamfer and the hole function to make all those 6 holes. And for the reversing valve housing, I used the pad function from the squares, and then I used also the hole function, and I've used the same procedure for the spindle bracket. Now for the reversing valve, crankshaft bearing, exhaust pipe, and fresh steam inlet pipe, my friend Hyunwoo has made those parts, so I'll just describe how they made it. So for the reversing valve, he used the shaft function, so he just created the profile along the longer cross section, and then used the shaft function. For the crankshaft bearing, he used a bunch of circle pads and then he used the hole function to create the holes. And for the exhaust pipe, he created a cross section using the lines in the sketcher, or for the profile function, and then he used the shaft function again to create that circular pipe. And for the fresh steam in the pipe, which I made, I just use a regular pad function with another pocket.
With assembly 103 and 104 and assembly 200 parts, we made assembly 200. For assembly 101, there was 3 parts. One is piston, crosshead, and cross piston rod. For piston, I made a circle profile and padded and made a hole, which is concentric. For crosshead, I made a profile of front and padded with its depth. For piston rod, I made a side view, a half of side view, and used shaft function half piston rod. With piston, crosshead, and piston rod, I made assembly 101. For assembly 102, there were 4 parts: flywheel, crank plate, crankshaft, and roller bearing screw. For flywheel, I made circle profile, padded, made smaller circle, used pocket, and made small circle at the top, used pocket function, and used circular pattern. For crank plate, I made circle profile, padded, and made 2 holes at the front and 1 hole at the top. For crankshaft, I used shaft function to make cylinder and used pocket function at the center to make its shape, and I used hole function to make holes. For roller bearing screw, I used shaft function to make screws. And this is assembly 102. As a final step, we assembled assembly 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, and assembly 200 together and built 4-cycle steam engine. After we built 4-cycle steam engine, we had limitation that we were unable to constrain 2 ends of exhaust pipe, which highlighted in right side picture. However, overall quality was very good. Every other parts except exhaust pipe fits really well. And thank you for watching.